Stop rolling out change. Start making it real. Many hotels experience a common moment. A manager finishes a team briefing. They've introduced a new system, a revised rota process, or a service tweak handed down from above. The room is quiet. Staff nod. Some smile. Then they go back to their shift and quietly ignore most of it. This isn't because they're being difficult, not because they don't care, but because the change has landed like a dropped tray. Sudden, unexplained. It's disconnected from anything they hold dear or comprehend. This happens in hospitality all the time. Leaders work hard to move the business forward, but the pace of change outstrips the pace of communication. We make decisions without considering the people who must implement them. And implementation feels rushed, confusing, or disconnected. The problem is not a communications issue. The problem is a mindset issue. If we want change to stick, we need to stop managing it from the top and start leading it from the inside. That means rethinking how we bring people with us, how we support them as they grow, and how we make change meaningful for the people who matter most. Why traditional change management fails in hospitality. Most traditional change models were designed for structured corporate environments, controlled timelines, predictable cycles, desk-based teams. That is not hospitality. Hotels run at full tilt. People are solving problems in real time, managing competing demands, dealing with emotional and physical labor, all while trying to stay guest-facing and brand positive. In that context, change doesn't land because someone sent a PowerPoint. It lands through relationships, through trust, through day-to-day leadership. So when change is delivered like a task, rather than experienced like a shift in culture, people default to what they know. They protect themselves. They prioritize what feels possible. It's not resistance, it's survival. And unless we change the way we lead, the cycle will repeat. What it looks like when change fails. Change doesn't usually fail with a bang. It fails quietly. Here's what it often looks like. People nod in meetings, then carry on as before. Managers say they're doing it, but no one checks what that really means. Teams smile through the launch, but avoid using the new process. Feedback is collected, but not used, so people stop giving it. Projects are completed, but nothing really shifts in behavior or culture. By the time it becomes visible, disengagement has already taken hold. The change becomes another forgotten initiative. The next one is met with even more skepticism. You cannot build transformation on compliance. You build it through commitment. And commitment only happens when people feel the change is real, relevant, and personal. The role of managers: stop using them as mouthpieces. Hospitality managers are among the most influential and most under-supported people in any business. They're the ones delivering daily direction, setting the tone, holding the team together during difficult shifts. But when it comes to change, they're often handed a script, a timeline, and the expectation to get people on board. Here's the problem. Most managers are not consulted when the change is being designed. They're not asked what the team needs. They're not given space to adapt the message. And they're rarely supported to lead through complexity. They are used as a communication channel, not as strategic leaders. This is a huge waste of insight and influence. If you want change to take hold, managers need to be involved from the beginning, not just told at the end context, not just content permission to question, shape, and improve the approach. Access to feedback data from their team. Support to lead behaviorally, not just operationally. Managers don't just cascade change, they carry it. If they're not confident, no one else will be. What teams really need in a time of change, hospitality teams don't need slick presentations. They need clarity, consistency, and care. They need to know why the change is happening. Not just what is changing, but why now? What does it mean for them? What's expected? What's up for discussion and what's not? They need to be part of the conversation, to have a voice in shaping the how, even if the what is fixed. They need recognition that change is hard. It can be uncomfortable, especially when the workload is already heavy and the stakes feel high. They need space to express concerns without being labeled difficult, and they need to see that their feedback goes somewhere useful. In short, they need to feel like participants, not recipients. 3 things to do differently. This is not about adding layers of complexity. It's about changing the way we behave as leaders. Here are 3 practical shifts every hospitality business can make. 1. Stop talking about change. Start talking about impact. Don't just explain the project. Talk about what it means for the people involved. Will their shift change? Will it reduce errors? Will it make life easier or harder in the short term? Make it real. 2nd, stop launching. Start listening. You don't need another all-staff meeting. You need small conversations, one-to-ones, coffee chats, team huddles. And then you need to respond to what people say. Nothing builds trust faster than listening properly and acting visibly. 3rd, stop freezing development. Start using change as a growth moment. In change, development should accelerate, not disappear. Help people gain new skills, take on new roles, or build stretch experience. If people grow, they engage. If they stagnate, they drift. Resistance is not the enemy. It's easy to label resistant team members as blockers, but that thinking is lazy. In most cases, resistance reveals something important, a risk not considered, a process that won't work on the floor, a fear that others are also feeling but not voicing. Use resistance as insight. Ask why people feel unsure. Explore what would make the change more believable or manageable. When someone says no, dig deeper. They might be giving you the key to better design. The strongest change champions are often the people who started as critics, because they've thought it through. They've tested it emotionally, and when they come around, they bring others with them.